Okay, everyone. Good afternoon, participant who joined us on the 14th European Higher Education Fair, which is held on 2022. And our session today at 4 p.m. We got the title of this talk show is Study in Spain, Endless Possibilities. And we are now joined by two very interested university, the institute that we have. We have Isaac Martinez Barcia from Campus Spain. And then we have also, hello, Isaac. Hello. And then we have also UCAM Universidad, which is actually will be represented by Michelle Kong. But since Michelle Kong might be running late, so Kemal Altin will stand by to represent the university. So without further ado, I will ask Isaac from Campus Spain. You can introduce yourself and talk a little bit about the university, and yeah, just a short explanation. And you can talk about like what is your role there. Okay, please, Isaac. Thank you.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. My name is Isaac. I am one of the representatives of Campus Spain here in Indonesia, together with my colleague Anton. Basically, what we do in Campus Spain is we promote the students to go to study in Spain to all the public universities that we have, in total 50 public universities for both bachelor's program and master's program. And basically, well, like we are here based in Jakarta, and we review every student individually because the public universities in Spain offer super good scholarship system for the students, covering around 90% of the school fees, which at the end is very, very good deal for the students interested.
Yeah. Thank you, Isaac, for your short, brief, but very nice to know information about scholarship, because I know that our participant very curious about that information. But we'll talk more about scholarships, and then we're going to UCAM. We got Mr. Kemal Altin. Welcome, Mr. And then maybe as a representative from UCAM, you can also introduce yourself and introduce about your institution. Just a brief explanation about what is UCAM and what's just brief introduction. Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here. My name is Kemal. I'm the marketing coordinator of UCAM, and UCAM is named as Universidad Católica San Antonio de Murcia. Murcia is a small city in the south of Spain, but we have basically 3 campuses throughout the Spain, one in Madrid, one in Cartagena, and our main campus is in Murcia in the south of the Spain. We are very, very close to Alicante, actually, in the south of the Spain. UCAM is a top-ranked university in Spain, and we have many programs in English, and we have also many programs in Spanish language. We also known as a sports university with a very large sport facilities, which students can join freely. For example, we have professional basketball and football teams playing in the leagues of Spain. So we have many academic and social opportunities within our campus. I can say we have a list of bachelor programs and master degree programs in English as well. For example, business administration, psychology, innovation and tourism marketing, and bilingual education. If participants have any more question and detailed question, I can answer specifically.
Thank you very much, Kemal. Kemal?
You're welcome.
Yeah, okay.
Kemal.
Kemal, sorry, very.
Yes.
Okay, Kemal, thank you very much. So we're going to go straight to the discussion, the talk show. Yes, so first question to both representative. So why Spain? Why do you think studying in Spain can benefit or very interested to our Indonesian prospector or future students here? So who would like to start? Mr. Maybe Isaac? Yeah, please.
Okay. So when students ask me about why to study in Spain, I answer with 3 things. First thing is you guys are going to be studying in the European Union with all the benefits of studying in there. As you know, higher education in Europe, standards of quality among 5% best universities worldwide, Erasmus scholarships, Schengen visa, recognition of diplomas. That's all the benefits of studying in the European Union. And of course, you're going to have it in Spain. Number two, about public education in Spain, you're going to have super good scholarship system covering up to 90% of the academic fees, which at the end leaves super high quality education with affordable fees. And number three, and my favorite one, is that Spain is quite diverse and big country indeed. So it's the country where students can go to the beach, can go to the mountains, can do ski, can go to islands, can go to visit museums, can go to visit plenty of monuments, from old to modern ones. And Spanish people is nice, and students are going to feel very welcome. So for me, those are the three things I will tell about studying Spain.
Okay, Isaac, very straightforward and easy to digest. 3 pointers. Thank you very much. And then we'll go to Kemal. Kemal, what's your take on that? Why Spain?
Thanks again. I'm going to repeat some of the points that Mr. Isaac mentioned. I would underline that Spanish people are very warm and very welcome people. I would underline this, especially for foreign students. So it's a very, very friendly environment in Murcia city, but also in the other Spanish cities. The second thing is Spanish as a language is a very, very largely spoken language. So learning Spanish for a student, for a bachelor degree or for a master degree student, is a real advantage in the future life. I can honestly say that any student speaking fluent Spanish is more likely to earn in their lives. Also, specifically speaking UCAM, we have very, very nice postgraduate opportunities. For example, students can work while they are in campus. They have a work permit while they are studying. But right after the graduation, there are many internship opportunities and there are many job opportunities in the reputable companies. Also, they have a chance to join professional sport teams if they have a license. That's another opportunity that I can particularly give in UCAM especially. And I think Michelle is here.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Kemal. You can stay
welcome.
here as well. We don't,
Thank you.
yeah, you don't need to leave this room because it's also good if you can also add if Michelle might leave or yeah. So I would like to introduce everyone to Michelle Kong. Michelle Kong is also the representative of UCAM. And Michelle, we were just talking about why Spain, and I think these two representatives, which is Isaac and Kemal, has already elaborated very on point on why Spain and Spanish is getting very important in the world. Okay, so next question is like, do you offer English program or is it like in Spain? And how do you, yes, so what do you think the requirement of languages that you need, that the participant, the prospectus need to take prior beforehand? Okay, so maybe we can start with Michelle from UCAM.
Hi, Dita. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, Kemal, for starting it off for me. So yes, we do, of course, we have English or Spanish taught programs. So we are one of the first few institutions in Spain actually to introduce the English taught programs to students who are looking for bachelor's and also the master's. So our programs in bachelor's include also like business administration, psychology, dentistry, and sports science. These are conducted 100% in English. And on top of that, we're offering students at least 100 hours of Spanish lessons. This is because we also offer guaranteed work experience. And of course, when you're in Spain, it's very beneficial for you to have the Spanish component so that you have more opportunities to do your internships. In our master's level, we also do offer quite a number of programs taught in English, for example, like MBA, hospitality management, innovation and tourism marketing, and etc. These three are particularly popular, I would say, for Indonesian students. We have quite a number of Indonesian students coming to us for these programs. So similarly, we also do offer additional Spanish language so that they can pick up the language while they are still studying in English.
Okay, thank you, Michelle, for your explanation. And we go to Isaac. Isaac, would you like to share a bit about the program in English or any other? Also, you can also elaborate on like the popular study program that most people and especially Indonesians prospectus that take or took before. Okay, please, Isaac. Thank you.
So when we are talking about language with Campus Spain, so what we promote is all public universities in Spain. So at the end, there is like a very vast variety of majors available. And at the end, public education in Spain is bilingual. So it's going to be in English and in Spanish at some point. If you ask me which one's in English, which one's in Spanish, that varies a lot depending on the major. For instance, if you go for international relations, most of the subjects or even complete majors in public universities are going to be full English. If you go maybe, I don't know, like philosophy, it's going to be mostly in Spanish, okay? But what is important to mention is that the university is bilingual. So you are going to be sharing Spanish and English. And I will keep with what Kemal said before, and I will add something like Spanish is quite easy language to learn to Indonesian. Pronunciation is kind of the same. And students can learn Spanish in around seven months. Indonesians have quite good and decent level of Spanish. We have a lot of students doing university in Spanish, and it's going to be an asset for their future life. Remember, Spanish is by number of native speakers, second most spoken language in the world, with around 600 million people speaking Spanish worldwide. And our students already know English. So that transition to Spanish, it's smooth. Plus, guys, you're going to be living in Spain, so you get used to that. The same way, like me living in Indonesia, I get used to Bahasa. So
Yeah, I think we haven't touched base on like the surrounding of the Spain itself, like the culture. I think we've touched base on why Spain as in an academic situation, but we haven't talked a bit. Like I can see from the buildings that I saw behind Michelle and the buildings like behind Isaac, there's a lot of like cultural architectural that you might want to talk, and like the how is the culture. And I think Indonesian and Spain has tiny bit like a quite this relativity, like we both are very warm people, and you can elaborate on that. Okay, so two questions from me is like how is the cityscape or the village scape, and how's the culture, and the last was like how do our Indonesian students can familiarize with your culture? Yeah, so that's three actually, sorry. So maybe Kemal wants to answer, or maybe Michelle can add also. So start with Kemal.
So yeah, throughout my life, I worked with many international students, including Turkey and other European countries as well. So I can honestly say that because of the cultural structure of Spanish people, they are very open-minded, and they are very open to different cultures and different geographies in the world. So I don't really think that the Indonesian students will have any difficulty to adapt into the Spanish culture. And Spain actually is a very history-rich country. So especially the students of social sciences, nearly each Spanish city is a cultural fortune. So there are many places to visit. In almost in every weekend, you can find another attractive city to visit. So there are very large opportunities.
Yeah, okay. So
in that sense.
Yes, as we speak the language of Gen Z, that's a lot of Instagrammable and social media spot on sightseeing. So bet yourself that your photo will look very beautiful and likable. No, just kidding. Okay, so yeah, that's just an additional. And then maybe Isaac, I will get to you, Michelle, later after Isaac, and on our next question. Isaac, would you like to add perhaps? Yeah. And
Actually, I love the question. I think it's very insightful. First, you are going to be living in a Mediterranean country, a country with centuries of history. We play a quite role in history. We were quite good sailors, and it's a very diverse country. As I mentioned you before, students can go to visit since Roman monuments, okay, ancient monuments. Even in Cartagena, you have a lot of them. You can visit Gothic monuments. You can visit among the best painters in the world. Pablo Picasso is not Italian. Pablo Picasso is Spanish. You can go to visit his house in Malaga. You can visit the modernist, any kind of museum, monument. So we have two oceans. We have Mediterranean Sea, and then we have Atlantic up north. We have interior part of Spain, and even within Spain, we have some different languages, which is very enriching for the students. And then you asked me about the Indonesian adaptation. And in here, I want to mention 2 to 3 things. First is Spanish is very tolerant country, among the most tolerant country in the world. So students do not suffer any kind of discrimination for their origin, neither racial, neither religious, which I believe is very important for the students. Actually, they are going to feel quite in home because we like to be close to each other. And also for Indonesians, I would like to mention that Spain has a huge historical relation with the Muslim community. Spain, half of Spain was Muslim not that long ago. Actually, it's called Al-Andalus, and right now it's Andalusia. And students can visit plenty of Muslim-related monuments like Alhambra in Granada. And also we have quite big communities. So for those ones that might be thinking, how is the cultural adaptation in a country in Spain, you're going to be very welcome here.
Very pleasing and delightful to hear and imagine, actually. We can go to Google after this, like to Google image all of your very insightful places that you just mentioned. Okay, and then we'll go back to the academic part. We're going back to the university side, the institution. So what do you think is the strong point of education in Spain? So for example, like, are you like more into theoretical or practical, or like how do you elaborate on the strong point of education in Spain? Like yeah, so maybe Michelle, you would like to elaborate on that?
All right, sure. So the education in Spain, I would say we have a long history of education, and on top of that as well, for us at UCAM, I would say that we touch a lot on practicality, because ultimately after an education, the student will have to find for a job, and they have to, have the soft skills and etc. So that is why for us, our curriculum is designed in a way that students can easily absorb the information topic by topic basis. We have a full curriculum set for them. We give them the expectation, etc. And then on top of that, we also do have a personal tutor to help them out. So in case they have any issues academically, our personal tutor will be there to assist them through. They will check in with them, make sure they understand what's the theory like and how to adapt it into the real world. And as I mentioned earlier, we also do have like a guaranteed working experience. So we do have internships. So what we do is also we work with more than 300 different partners in Spain and also internationally to offer students the opportunity or chance to execute or to implement whatever they have learned in class.
Thank you, Michelle, for sharing that. Very practical to listen to. And then Kemal, do you want to add something, or do you think it's enough? Because I will go to Isaac after this.
I think Michelle told almost everything.
Okay, so Isaac, maybe you would like to add like the Campus Spain, because you are umbrella. I mean, like it's a lot of campus like below you. Yeah, so can you talk further about that? So what's the strong point in academic for the general speaking campus in Spain?
Yeah, so actually, as I mentioned before, we have 50 public universities. Like that's a lot of universities. Every of these universities have different program, okay? So some universities are more specialized in a couple of fields, like we have polytechnic universities, which are more focused on technical majors, like double majors in engineering, robotics, aerospatial, and so on. But generally, what I want to tell the students is like any of these universities are going to offer you full programs, like top-notch programs, like kind of the best quality programs that you can have. You know, you're going to be studying in the European higher education area, which ensures the quality, and Spanish universities are very good. I could say that they have a quite big workload on theory, okay, during first and second year, and then third and fourth year is more practicum. So I always recommend the students to try to find internships. Maybe we can talk about it on later, but yeah, third and fourth year is good time for find internship. But just to give you examples, two things, we have workers that studied in Spanish universities in the NASA, we have the F1 engineers, we have product managers in Facebook, Google, all kind of big techs, also in the European Agency of Medicine, okay, the ones that approve vaccines and so on. And Spanish doctors are famous worldwide. So that proves the quality of the university in Spain, okay? And about Indonesian students right now, I can think that we have students doing architecture, marketing, biology, business. We have a couple of them doing sports, food science and technology, fashion design, and so on. So the opportunities you have are a lot, and it's totally up to the students. In any case, it's going to be good.
Very, very interesting. Thank you. So I would like to remind all participants joining our talk show that you can ask a question or more in your chat box in YouTube. Okay, so because our operator will get that question and pull it out so that the speakers can answer that. Okay, so yeah, we'll take a little break for 1 minute, but we'll go straight to the next question. Yes, so we were talking about the academics and the fields of the program that they had, and we would like to ask, like, as you said, there was a network after graduation. There is like a good network of professionals that can be talked about. So other than the one that you've already mentioned, is there anything that you'd like to add? Kemal, perhaps? Sorry, you are muted.
If there is any particular questions, I can answer, but
Yeah.
I have nothing to add right now.
Oh, okay. Isaac, do you want to add about the network of graduate?
About the network for Indonesian students, yeah, I want to mention two things. First, you have PPI Español, which is a brilliant community. I was with them a couple of months ago here in Jakarta. They could help you in anything you need. Our community of Indonesian students in Spain is growing every year, okay? So you're going to feel very welcome by them. And also every university has their own alumni group, okay, alumni. So they could help you a lot in your career, also ask for mentorship and so on. Plus any other programs of the university, they have services, job center that they can help the students. So and the community is quite big for the students to ask any kind of question, for mentorship and so on. Yeah.
Okay, Isaac, thank you. Michelle, would you like to add perhaps?
And I think what Isaac mentioned is pretty much what Indonesian students currently can join. But in the future, I could see for Asia region in general, because I'm taking care of multiple Asian countries. I
Yes.
recently just came back not too long ago from Vietnam, and they have actually developed the European alumni network. So I could see this being adapted in other countries as well. And this would eventually help Indonesian students, be it going to Spain or going to anywhere in Europe. They can connect with each other and, build better, I would say, opportunities together. So yeah, I would see currently there is this kind of groups available in Asia, and in the future, there's going to be way more.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Now we're going to the admission part, perhaps, because this is also the things that everyone might be very curious to ask is like, I think Isaac was mentioning as well, but let's get deeper into this. So can you mention about student aids, support, and scholarship that each of your universities or institutes are offering? Especially to our Indonesian students, and maybe you can also mention like several scholarships provider that mostly our prospectus have opted previously. Okay, so maybe start with Michelle.
All right, sure. So usually for international students, we do offer up to 15% of scholarship. This would depend on their academic background, their English proficiency, and we have an interview for it. But of course, we have additional scholarships available. Fun fact, we are actually also known as the University of Sports. We have quite a number of Indonesian students coming for sports program. And we do have sports scholarship available. So once they are on board, they can audition for it, and our faculty will choose the scholarship receivers.
Okay, thank you, Michelle. Would you like to add, Kemal? Do you know maybe certain scholarship by selected by Indonesian students, or
As Michelle said, like we have scholarships around 15% for most of our programs. I can say that especially the bachelor degree students, the candidates of bachelor degree students, right after their high school, if they complete at least a 65% average in their high school, they can apply to UCAM. So if they are in the recent year of their class at the moment, they can make their application and they can start their application process right now.
okay. Thank you, Kemal. And then Isaac,
You're welcome.
Isaac, would you like to add further perhaps about the Campus Spain
Yes.
program of like offers aid, support, or
Okay.
scholarship?
Yeah, the scholarships, what I mentioned before, is the Spanish government covers up to 90% of the academic fees in public universities. This is what we call subsidized education. So we have majors starting in around 740 euros per year, final price for international students, which in rupiahs is around 11 juta rupiah setahun, like full price, okay? And of course, this is not the real cost of the university. This is the price students pay after the Spanish government gives the scholarship, okay? For the admission in the public universities, is basically depending on what you want to study. We need to review your academic profile, okay? Mostly it's going to be depending on your grades and also the competitiveness of the majors you want to get admission in. We have a couple of them which are, let's say, more affordable to enter, and a couple of them which are more difficult, but we can review every student. And then in the public universities in Spain, good for the students, you don't need TOEFL, you don't need GMAT, you don't need IELTS, okay? So you don't need to worry about those kind of tests. It's mostly going to be depending on your profile. We're going to do a little interview also and your marks. And with that, we can start to value your admission. Yeah.
Okay, Isaac, thank you for enlightening us on that issue. So we're continuing about admission still, the section of admission. So what do you think can benefit, or how do our prospectus students should prepare so they can get a bigger chance of getting admitted? So maybe you can give tips or tricks, or maybe they could expand their portfolio, or is there anything that you can give as a suggestion for the prospectus? Please, maybe start with Michelle.
Hi. So for us at UCAM, we are a private institution, so we don't have any entrance exam per se, but we do look at the student's academic background. So for example, if you're coming for the bachelor's program, we'll look at the last 3 years of your high school. Ultimately, we will see if you have a minimum of 65 to 70% for entry, but on top of that, what we also look for is also your motivation letter and also your CV. So if you have additional, I would say, motivations for coming into Spain, and also particularly the reasons to study the particular field that you're interested in, I think that will be a strong point for the faculty to assess your profile. So for master's is also similar, but we only look at the bachelor's degree or the transcripts. And then we also do have PhD. So our PhD, we have 4 areas that are taught in English, and the students will need to provide us with their research proposal so that we can see whether it matches with our supervisors and whether we can assist them better.
Thank you, Michelle. Kemal, do you have something that you would like to add?
Yeah, so all of our programs, either in Spanish language or in English language, we do normally require a proficiency exam in both languages. However, if students don't have sufficient language knowledge in both languages, they shouldn't worry about, because we have English and Spanish prep classes. So we prepare the students in 1 year, at least in 1 year, starting from A1 level in the language up to C1 level. They can study the English language or the Spanish language before their degree. So that's also possible.
Thank you, Kemal. And then
You're
Isaac,
welcome.
from Campus Spain, what's your take on that? What do you suggest mostly for prospectus, and especially Indonesian students, Indonesian prospectus students?
So when we are applying for public universities in Spain, I would say that the system tries to be the most fair possible, which means that they are not going to require neither portfolio, neither CV, neither motivation letter, nothing like that, because that's a little bit unfair, okay? Some people could have an amazing CV, some people can get recommendation letters, but that's not totally objective, okay? So the admission in public universities is objective and is based on your academic report. Normally academic report of grade 10, 11, and 12. And also it's going to be varying depending on what you want to study. If you want to study, let's say, aerospace engineer, we need you to have good grades, okay? There are other fields like maybe, I don't know, marketing or business, which the entry requirements are a little bit lower, okay? So any advice I could give to the students is focus on your academics, focus on your classes, try to get good results, and start to think what you want to study in. So if you want to go for more technical majors, so focus a little bit on the technical aspects. If you want to study engineering, first year of university, you're going to have a couple of classes of advanced mathematics, algebra, and so on, okay? So you need to be prepared for that. But aside from that, I don't have much. Okay, have an open mind if you want to study abroad, because it's a process. And yeah, that's pretty much the mission in public universities.
Yes, okay, very great explanation, Isaac, thank you. So after that, after we know like what are the tips and tricks and how to improve our the chances of admission, also the next question is like what are the general pathway of admission that you have in UCAM? So Kemal, would you like to explain about that?
Yeah, first, we actually check the documents of our students if they're eligible or not. Then we do organize an interview for most of our students. Of course, during this process, we check the program that they are asking for, if they are eligible for the program or not. Right after that, we start the online application process. And there are several steps in the online application, and if the student is eligible, we do provide the conditional acceptance letter, then a regular acceptance letter, and we also help for the visa process as well for our students. So that's far more the application process. I think if Michelle doesn't want to add anything.
Yeah, that's
Yes?
pretty much the general admissions process. But like as Kemal mentioned, we will look into the student's profile academically. Of course, if students like what Isaac is mentioning, they are choosing a more, I would say, challenging course. Like for us, we have dentistry. Dentistry is pretty challenging and it's very popular in our university. So we require students to have a higher academic level. And on top of that, why do we have this kind of interview is to understand the students better, to make sure that they are choosing the right course for them or the right pathway for them, and to explain more about the university, the city, and what to expect.
All right, Michelle and Kemal, thank you for the insight from UCAM. And then Campus Spain, Isaac, if you would like to
Yeah.
talk
So
about
no-
the general
Yeah,
pathway.
normally the process for admission of the students is, first of all, we get to know the student, okay? Then you tell us what you want to study. Let's say, I want to study engineering, Isaac. And I ask, what kind of engineering? The good thing is that as we have 50 universities, public universities, we have a lot of majors. So maybe you don't know what kind of engineering, no problem. Maybe you are considering electrical, a mechanic, and maybe robotics, okay? So I get in touch with the academic team and we provide you a list of options, okay, for you to consider, okay? So maybe 4, 5, 6 of each, and then you can have a look, different city, different university. The final decision is up to the students. And after that, we get to know if it's possible. So we need to get to know more about your marks, okay? And after that, we start with a process, okay? We meet with the family, answer doubts, because when you want to study abroad, it's a process, okay? And we are there in every step. So we meet with the family, answer all kinds of questions, how to live in Spain. Of course, our team helps you with all the visa preparation and all the academic preparation, because when you want to study in public universities, we need to legalize your academic documents, and we need to bring them from Indonesia to Spain and also work on that in Spain for a while. And then we go through the pathway to admission in public university, where we make the application to the public universities. Actually, we make application to 6 or 7 in the first window. So you tell us, like, I want to apply to this one, this one, this one, and make the application. So maybe you don't get admission in the first one, or maybe you get admission in the second one. But we help you in all the process, okay? Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Isaac. Very elaborative. And then we actually have question on the floor. I would like to pull some question. Okay, I will just also remind participant that each of these institute actually have their own virtual booth. Yes, am I correct? Michelle, Kemal, Isaac, right?
Yes, that's right.
Yes. Yeah, so exactly that we have, each of them have virtual booth. So after this talk, if you perhaps want to ask more question or inquire a rather specific question, you can also talk with them or the representative. There will be open for any discussion. Okay, and then we're going to the question here. We got from Laurencia. Hola, is it correct? Hola, I would like to ask, is there a PhD program in forensic science at the UCAM University? So very specific, and it's, I think, very interesting program, because very cool. Okay, Michelle, would you like to answer?
Yes, I will need to check and see if our supervisor would be able to assist in that niche area. We do have PhD in health sciences and we cover a wide range. We also do have like forensic and things like that in our bachelor's degree program, master's degree program taught in Spanish. So for that particular one, please get in touch with me so that I can explore further with the faculty to make sure that we have the right supervisor for you.
Okay, thank you, Michelle. So yeah, Laurencia, you can just refer to Michelle later on the virtual booth, or you can also put your contact and then we will put it on YouTube. Yeah, on YouTube chat. So Isaac, Kemal, and Michelle, if you would like to put your contacts here on the comment, or sorry, on the chat box, on Zoom chat box, and then we can make it public on the YouTube channel. Yeah, okay. Okay, and then our operator will be helpful about that. And then next question is from RR Alfiona Zenitka. Hi, I have a few questions. First, I'll take a master degree, but I don't have the same background with the major I'll be choosing. Is it possible? Yeah, she didn't mention about the bachelor and the master that she want to take, but maybe can you generally talk about that? Isaac, maybe you'd like to answer that in Campus Spain?
Yeah, for master's degree, for the admission is a little bit easier than for the bachelor's because it's not as competitive. As we all know, the bachelor of this lady, generally talking, it's easy to go from a technical bachelor to a non-technical. So let's say you did engineer, any kind of engineer, and you want to do an MBA or marketing or communication or something like that. It's 100% possible. In fact, there's a lot of people that's doing that. For the opposite, it's going to be a little bit more complicated because if you want to go for a very technical master, sometimes in the requirement list is that you have a technical bachelor. But of course, that depends on what kind of bachelors you've got, what kind of masters you got. Okay, so we would need to know a little bit more about the specific case.
Thanks, Isaac. And then either Kemal or Michelle would like to answer that. Who would want to answer that?
I can do that.
Okay, Michelle.
So for masters, generally we can accept a student with a different background into our master's program, except for example, like what Isaac has mentioned, those that are a little bit more technical. So technical in the sense that, for example, we do have a master's in high performance sports. This is dealing with, the strength and agility training of a particular athlete. So students will have to have a background in sports science, for example, in order to be able to catch up with the curriculum and understand the whole master's concept. So for the programs in English, the two areas or the two masters that we require specific background is like the high performance sports and also, for example, hospitality management, where we look at the background of hospitality, tourism, business, law, or similar. For the rest, it's pretty much a free hand, I would say. Sorry, Lida, you're muted.
Yeah, okay, thank you, Michelle, for the elaborative answer. And then actually, Alfiona is also still ask us question. Okay, so secondly, so that's that was the first question. And then the second, if I can't exam, sorry, maybe if I was late with the target uni, is there another exam or... I'm not sure what's the question here. Maybe Alfiona, sorry, that maybe you can ask directly. But the interesting thing additionally to this question is may I know student life? Yeah, I think that's one of the exciting things that we can explore while we are waiting for the closing, because we are going to close at 4:48. So yeah, please, as many as you can, please you can explain, like, is there any festivals that are very interesting to be watched about? And then how about the culture, the food? Oh, we haven't talked about the cuisine. And then uniqueness, like I've heard a bit about Basque country that also near Spain, and I've heard it's quite interesting. So yeah, please tell us more about those student life outside of campus. Yeah, maybe Isaac want to start. I think there's a light bulb lighting on your forehead. Yeah, Isaac, you would like, because I'm curious about Basque community.
Basque country, it's in north part of Spain, and it's not super big region, but it's super diverse and unique. Talking about the student life, well, I would say directly, university time is going to be among the best time of your life. I was in university not that long time ago, and I remember with such joy. Spain, as I told you, it's a great country to study university. You're going to have plenty of fun. Spanish people is very close, like Indonesian. So after classes, they just like to hang around. Okay, we don't have warung, but we have plenty of bars. Okay, so it's very usual.
Similar.
You finish your classes and then you go with your friends for a coffee or for a beer or cola or just
Yeah.
whatever, and then you are there chit chat. We have our tapas, which is they give you free food. Meanwhile, you are, you are just ordering your coffee or whatever, and then we can spend there hours talking and with our friends. Aside from that, we love sports. Okay, so you are
Yeah,
going
yeah.
to be welcome any kind of sport, football, tennis, badminton, rugby. You can choose. We are quite
Yeah.
competitive in sports.
Yeah.
And for cultural activities, there are a lot. From those ones that involves maybe some more active, like hiking or discovering sightseeing, up to museums, concerts, festival. In
Yeah.
fact, I want to say in here that Spain is #1 destination for Erasmus students. Erasmus
Yeah,
program,
yeah.
as you know, it's the exchange program inside the European Union.
Yes.
And for all those people studied in the Netherlands, Germany, Poland, Italy, and so on, the #1 destination is Spain. And they know why. They know why. Okay, so
They know the
here I
deal,
welcome- yeah, they know the deal. So I welcome very much to explore about studying in Spain, and I really encourage you to go to study in Spain because it's a great deal.
Yes, okay. Okay, so before we go to the closing, maybe not closing, but the UCAM representative can talk about students' life. I would like to mention that we have a last question, Mesak Roy Pratama. Hola, how can I register for the universities? Okay, so Mesak Roy, sorry, I think it is a very technical question. So I think I will suggest you to contact directly because this is quite very detailed. So yes, I think they are open. Either UCAM or Campus Spain will be very open on explaining. So if I may continue to the last statement by UCAM, maybe you can elaborate on students' life and then how culturally rich Spain, how can our Indonesian student get benefit, can take home some of the experience and learn a lot from
I can
the
add
students'
something, I
life.
think.
Yes. Kemal.
Not only in Spain, I will remind that once they are registered in a university in Spain, they will have the residence permit of European Union. So that means not only in Spain, they can also travel to any other European country without any visa. So with very, very cheap fees with the Ryanair, sorry for the advertisement, but by train or by bus, they can travel with very cheap prices, and they can travel to other European countries as well. So imagine that a bachelor student is studying for 4 years. Within that 4 year, you can go to another European city almost in every weekend. That's technically possible. So
Wow,
that
yeah.
will be the best years of your life. I guarantee you.
Yeah, so like traveling years, also studying years. Okay, so I think we are going to close the discussion with a very warm and bunch of thanks to all of our amazing speakers here that we got. We got Isaac from Campus Spain. Thank you very much, Isaac. We got Kemal Altin from UCAM and Michelle Kong from UCAM. Thank you very much for joining us. So that's all for the third session. We talk about the study in Spain, endless possibilities, also endless question to be asked. Like I said before, we got virtual booth available up to 6 p.m. So you guys can just hit on that and then ask them a question, lots of questions. I think they will be very happy to talk to you about. Okay, so that's all from me. I'm Dita as your moderator. Thank you very much, everyone. Hopefully you gain lots of insightful information and See you again. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank
Goodbye.
you. Goodbye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye. Bye.
Adios.
Adios. Yeah.